Pop-Up Podcast Sunday. Pop-Up Podcast Sunday. Okay, so, oh, baby, it's been so much going on. I have been dealing with a lot, to say the least. So today's topic, but let me get into my whole shebang. Is Nika's real talk from a real place? Is Nika's real talk from a real place? What's up, my good people? Whoop, whoop. Whoop, whoop. I am so glad to do this podcast for you all today. It's freeing for me because I have really been going through a lot of trauma, baby mama. I mean, it has been tremendous. So I'm talking about it and I'm venting about it. I don't care how people feel about what I got to say, but I'm gonna say it because I gotta get it off my chest. Because if I don't, the whole world will know it. Okay. First of all, I've been going through quite a bit. I hope y'all come on in. I need my supporters to come in. Say hey, y'all say hey back doing a podcast too. So I want to talk about toxic relationships, and how they affect you and others in your life. Like I said, I'm just being honest about my experiences because they are my experiences, and because of that, I say what I gotta say. But I won't give like a whole lot of detail because sometimes people are only just listening because they want some tea. I got the tea though. I'm gonna get y'all some tea. It just ain't gonna be the tea y'all thought y'all was gonna get. Okay. So yeah, it has been very rough, but I have been going through some challenges in my marriage. Well, I don't even want to say marriage. I want to say in my relationship, my current relationship. It's been a lot, to say the least. We're separated, but still, somewhat together. On behalf of our daughter, I am trying to make it work because it's basically like, I want her to have a good foundation and to get past her traumas, because people go through stuff, you know what I mean? What's up? But yeah, I'm really thinking about my 12-year-old at this time and what's going on with her. How is she feeling? How is things making her feel? It's been really rough. It's been really rough. I know I did tell you all I was grieving. Oh, hi Cameron. Thanks for coming to my podcast. This is called Nika's Real Talk from a Real Place, and thank you for joining the Pop-Up Podcast, because I literally have not been doing my podcast, and I missed you guys so much. And they changed a lot of things too. Who else we got? Pablo. Hey Pablo. Hi everyone. Hello. Welcome to Nika's Real Talk from a Real Place. I am your girl Nika. All right. So it's just been a lot. It's been rough. I did recently lose someone that is so dear to me, so precious to me, in December. It was my godson, first cousin. Well, he's my first cousin, but he was also my godson. And I have been hurting, and I felt like, nobody was, feeling what I was feeling. Again, this is a child that you know, his mama gave birth to him, she'd be like, girl, that's your baby. Because she want to go outside. And so I miss him so much. He was killed due to gun violence, um, which a lot of people in my family have unfortunately died due to the gun violence. It's really sad. But you know, like I said, I grew up on the west side. You know, from every point of the west side, we have literally stayed. Okay, there is no community we have not stayed in. We done been in Humboldt Park, West Humboldt Park. We done been in Austin community. We done been to what's some people, Londale, West London, baby. When I say we stayed all over Chicago, we stayed all over Chicago. So we stayed in the hood. Where some of the was not up to no good, okay? Yes, yes, yes. But back to the story. So I'm sharing my story. So um I've been grieving, and by me grieving, it doesn't really help um when someone is like, you know, on your back. You kind of feel like the pressure of the world is on you, because that's grief. You lost someone. You lost someone that's really close to you. And I think a lot of times in toxic relationships, you will notice that people are defensive. People are not able to take what's going on. I'm trying to see who this is. Who is that? Hold on, live. I'm so sorry. I had to go see who that was. But again, so losing my godson was something that I mean, he knew, you know, what was going on with his life and things of that nature. And so he understood what was going to happen. So he tried to prepare me for it, but it was like, no, I don't want to prepare for it. And mentally, I became drained. My job was very unsupportive at the time. The job, I'll get to the other part. So the other job was not supportive during my grieving process. It was horrible, very horrible. So I say that to anyone, like, nobody wants to go through grief and not have support, because the thing is about grief, it's the highest form of love. You lost someone that you love, okay? And for me, it's you know, my godson, my first godson. And you know, I was just like, wow, he's gone. Like, he's really gone. Like, he's really not here with me anymore. So because of that, my grief began to turn into anger. um because again, if you are not grieving properly, you know, you're gonna have issues. And also, y'all already know, like, I have mental issues as well. So that come into play along with grief, along with, you know, you're going through, you know, stuff at your job. That is too much. You're dealing things with your kids, and it was just like, oh my goodness. It was horrible. It was a horrible, horrible place to be in and to feel, because I mean, I felt like I was hopeless at some points. But yeah, I really so dealt with that part. And then the next part is me and my husband had altercations to the point that it was mentally draining me. And when I mentally get drained, I'm an empath, so I mentally get drained just by even large crowds. I try to stay like really like to myself a lot because I know people will try to like do that. But anyways, if you are in like a toxic relationship, I feel that, you know, you shouldn't stay in that, because if it's affecting you mentally, emotionally, physically, all that stuff, all of that takes a toll on your body. And for me, my life is not just for me, it's for my children that I gave birth to. You know, I want to make sure that I'm present for them. And arguing over holiday stuff or whatever the case may be, I don't have time for that. I don't. I'm on a mission for God. I know God has plans for me. I have been through so much. They had me going to a training for prayer, and they ended up telling me that I couldn't graduate. I'm like, okay, y'all waste my time. Um, so again, I've been going through a lot of stuff. So, getting over hurdles and trying to really, you know, be not. It's not so much as like in the well, it's not a relationship anymore. It's a separation at this point. Um, it's to get my mental back where it needs to be, also to support my baby as much as possible, because I do know that she was struggling when this stuff all started to happen, because she's not used to that. She's My baby ain't used to no trauma. Now she have stayed in the hood and she ain't seen and heard lights and all that stuff, but she has never experienced it in her own home where she saw like the physical things of what's going on and hearing it as well. Um, it's been a lot of narcissistic things going on. Um, it's just sad, you know. Like you can try to work things out with people, but my thing is, I know like I'm a believer, so I'm a Christian, um, and one of the scriptures I struggle with, I'm honest, is where Jesus be like, you gotta forgive somebody 70 times 70. I say, what? That's a lot. That's 490. Jesus. Now come on. I got to forgive them 490 times. Please be patient with me. God is not through with me yet. I just want you to say that. So I struggle. And the reason I struggle with mental issues are due to trauma in my childhood. Like, I had a lot of trauma in my childhood. So as an adult, I was like, I have the choice to choose me. I'm choosing me. I have been through so much within my family. It's been dysfunctional since the beginning of the time. Baby, I'm thinking it was all the way rooted. All the ancestors, okay? Picking cotton and all, baby. But yes, it has been a lot. Um, but I can't. This is where I really struggle, and it's because of my mental illness. I have borderline. So relationships is not one of my strong points, but I've been through a lot of relationships where I can tell people things that I've experienced to help them along the way. But one sign of a toxic relationship is constant arguing, fighting, and it can go from, finances to whatever it is, and it's just really a lot. Dealing with my son, the girl trying to like put him on child support. It's been so much going on. I'm telling you, it's been so much going on. But I want to make sure that my mental stability is not at risk, So I struggled with a lot of different things that I felt, I'm going through. And I don't like for people to make me, well, I know people can't make me do nothing, but because I'm a stubborn Taurus. But I feel that once you do someone wrong, you can't go to them and say, hey, I apologize, I did you wrong, But if that's consistent and that has been always the pattern, guess what? It's not good for you. It's not good for you.
Something's wrong.
I'm doing my podcast right now.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, it's live. I'm doing toxic relationships today. So and as soon as I'm done, I'm gonna come and watch Color Purple with you. I'm gonna sing all through that movie now. Okay, get ready, son, cause I'll be up there. Can't sleep at night. Woo! Sometimes I don't want that though. I just had a situation recently, but this nigga real talk. I'm giving y'all realness right now. I'm giving y'all nothing but raw and realness, and that is who I am, Nika. I'm gonna tell you like a T.I. is. So, but I don't be like to share stuff because sometimes people just want to be nosy. They don't even care about you or the situation that you're in. They just want to be nosy. Okay, like, baby, can we not do that? All right? Do you love me for real, or no? Because if it's no, go on about your business. Period. So, like I said, it has been a lot. It's been draining. My daughter has been, having issues as well, due to what's been going on. But I'm like really trying to keep her out of it because she's a baby and she does not deserve to have to go through things like that. So, like I said, I tell my truth. I share my truth. But I don't want people actions to make me react in a dark manner, if that makes sense. I can explain that for you. I have a very dark side, okay? Like, it's like almost like just leave me alone, because I go that route, then guess what? It's gonna reflect on me some type of way. Yeah, I'm about to be like real ghetto. Chewing gum while I'm actually talking to you guys. Alright, excuse me. But I feel like my breath needs to be a little freshened up. Yeah, so back to my train of thought, but you have to do what's best for you. You really do, because thinking that someone is going to change is not always factual. So I really can't pinpoint why people, and see, everybody is not together. That's why when if you're gonna get married, because I've been married twice and it has not worked twice. Um, I would just say, like, pray for your steps to be ordered, because God has great things in store for you. You have to deal with so much warfare. I'm telling you, I'm just keeping it a buck because you're trying to do something positive. You're trying to lighten somebody's load. You're trying to tell somebody there is hope. Mm-hmm. There is hope, okay, for you. And I just really don't understand why, when people are grieving or whatever they're going through, there's no support for those people. But this is also a person that is consistently there for others. That's the problem. I'm always the strong friend. I'm always the strong friend to say, hey, let's pray. Girl, we about to go to the throne on your behalf. Bro, let's do it. Let's pray. That is me. But also, I have a natural side. It's called slay some type of way. Okay. But yeah, I just really, like I said, it has been a lot, to say the least. But I want to make the right choices for my daughter, for me. That's really my focus at this point. That's really my focal point, is making sure my daughter is mentally healthy. Because kids they can go dark really quickly. And I know, because I was one of those kids. I struggled with depression when I was younger. I still have episodes, but I was able to, try to come through. But now I'm back in that mode where I need assistance, I need support, and then people, it becomes narcissistic and the relationship is toxic when the person is always reverting back to themselves. If a person tells a story, that story doesn't have anything to do with that story that was just told, let it go. But the boldness is unforgiveness. And it's because it's like, how much of this ish, because I don't know, it could be a little ratchet. I'm hood and I'm bougie. You get both the best world. Look, the best of both worlds. Yeah, I'm just at the point, like, I have to focus on my mental health. I can't focus on other people's stuff, because if you are in denial, that's not going to help you. It's not going to help you. So you have to know what works for you. Like, serious, on some real stuff. What works for you? And like I said, for a long time, I dealt with certain things that I seen grow into a monster. It's almost like the Incredible Hulk. Don't nobody got time for that. Baby, no. You're not going to act like Incredible Hulk on me, child. And we going to be friends. And then it's like, I really don't like when people are in a relationship where either, the men are acting as a female, or a female is acting very masculine, in a sense. I don't like when men start acting like females, like, and you're doing things that females do. Like, you need to grow the up. Okay? For real. So uh, that's just been everything I've been going through, y'all. Of being in a toxic relationship and just trying to move forward with peacefully as possible. Because like I said, I'm really all about my baby and how she feels and what's best for her as well. So that's my story, y'all. Y'all, look, stay away from toxic people because they ruin you from the inside out. That's what they do. And the reason I said that is because your heart, they rip your heart, and you begin to become heartless and cold because you're tired. And like I said today, God was in the temple. I really thank God for Pastor Hannah being used mightily. Oh, we talked about substance and how people use those things to navigate through life. And it happens. It happens. It happens to me. It happens to others. It happens. You know, people are people. And people have things that they deal with, you know? And it's like, how do you deal with this? How do you get past this? What's going on with it? But they want to make you focus on them, rather focus on you. But guess what? You have to focus on you, because focusing on you is going to bring greatness. You're going to be great. If I'm talking to somebody and you experience that, you're going through a separation or whatever the case may be, let it be known that I'm going to be whole. I'm going to be at peace. Because I know divorce can get messy. It can get really messy for kids, for parents. And like I said, my whole thing is making sure my baby's okay. She's 12. She's experiencing some things. And this is childhood trauma for her. You know? So think about you and think about your kids. If any of you have any of these situations that take place, just think about you. Focus on you. Self-care, self-love is an amazing thing. You have to do. You know what that reminds me? I need to set up another Dolce Vita massage. Dolce Vita in Westmont, they are amazing. What was that, Westchester? Anyway, put in Dolce Vita. Baby, I had a massage. It was so good. I think I told y'all about that, but it was such a good massage. I'm glad I started getting them. So now I can like focus on, you know, what I got going on. Have something to do. But it is so wonderful to be back. Like I said, I just came back to update y'all on what's going on. The topic, Nika's Real Talk from a Real Place. The topic was just what it was. It is what it is, you know? And things hurt as people go through processes in life that catapult them. Like it's like a cocoon getting prepared to be a butterfly. You have to go through that balled up process. You have to go through that pain. You have to go through that suffering so that you can be a beautiful butterfly. I am such a black hippie, okay? Whatever. But yes, so again, I thank you all for tuning in to the Pop-Up Podcast, Nika's Real Talk from a Real Place. I love you all. Let's get it! And I will be doing the flyer so that you all can actually, know that I did this Pop-Up Podcast. Even though I'm, posting it, yeah. All right, I love you all. I hope you all have a great week. And again, love, peace, and just let your soul glow. Okay? Get into it. I love y'all. Bye-bye.